At least 4 Israeli settlers have been killed in a shooting by 2 Palestinian gunmen near an illegal settlement in the occupied West Bank, a day after a deadly raid carried out Israeli troops. 4 people were confirmed dead and 4 others were wounded on Tuesday in the attack near Eli, in the northern West Bank, the Magen David Adom Emergency Services said in a statement. One of the gunmen was shot dead at the scene, and Israeli forces later killed the second suspect near Nablus after he fled in a taxi. Palestinian officials did not immediately comment. Al Jazeera's Imran Khan, reporting from occupied East Jerusalem, confirmed the deadly attack. Suspects opened fire into a gas station near the entrance of the Eli settlement between Ramallah and Nablus, he said. The Israeli military said the gunmen arrived by car and opened fire on a restaurant, and then targeted the petrol station. One of the attackers stole a running vehicle and fled the area, said Khan. The Palestinians were identified as Mohamed Faleh Shada and Khalid Mustafa Spa, both from the village of Urif near Nablus. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called an urgent security consultation, said Khan. His far-right allies have been calling for a large-scale military operation in the occupied West Bank for months now. Legitimate right. The shooting comes a day after 6 Palestinians were killed in Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank during a large-scale Israeli military incursion. At least 91 people were wounded during the 9-hour raid. The fighting saw Israel use helicopter gunships in the West Bank for the first time in several years, and Palestinian fighters detonated a large roadside bomb under an Israeli armored vehicle. Hazem Qasem, a spokesman for Hamas, the group that governs the besieged Gaza Strip, described Tuesday's shooting as a response to the crimes of the Israeli occupation in Jenin and elsewhere. Hamas later said one of the shooters was a member of its armed wing. The Palestinian Islamic Jihad also commended the attack, saying it was a natural response to growing Israeli aggression against the Palestinian people. The armed group said it considered the shooting to be part of Palestinians' legitimate right to exercise self-defense. Violence in the occupied West Bank was a major concern and announced plans to investigate further. We are very disturbed that violent settler activity has considerably increased in the last months, and it's becoming, in fact, the means through which Israeli annexation is ensured, said Malun Kothari, a member of a commission of inquiry mandated by the UN Human Rights Council. As long as the occupation continues, the United Nations needs to continue to rigorously investigate the situation and, therefore, we would like to see a sunset of the Israeli occupation. In 2022, Israeli forces killed more than 170 Palestinians, including at least 30 children, in occupied East Jerusalem and the West Bank, in what was described as the deadliest year for Palestinians living in those areas since 2006. Since the start of 2023, Israeli forces have killed at least 160 Palestinians, including 26 children. Israeli settlements, illegal under international law, house between 600,000 and 750,000 Israeli settlers across the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, despite Palestinians seeking the land as part of a future state. Earlier on Tuesday, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called on Israel to immediately cease all settlement activities in occupied Palestinian territory, describing Israel's plans to advance the building of settlements as driving tensions and violence and being a major obstacle to a lasting peace.